charity section featured and there she was, Kiki Moore, identified as Kyle Jameson's wife. A smile bright and empty in every photo. Melissa sat in Max's chair. The leathers.
This is a Utica Avenue bound A express train.
Something inside her crystallized.
The next stop is Broadway Junction.
This wasn't a drunken mistake at the conference. This was dissatisfaction was something she caused, something she could fix if she just tried harder, became smaller, needed less. Now she understood. His withdrawal hadn't been about her failures. It had been about making room for someone else. Melissa photographed the picture with steady hands, then replaced everything exactly as she found it. She locked the study door and returned the key to its hiding place. When she slid back into bed beside her husband, his breathing remained deep and undisturbed. He'd never even known she was gone. In the darkness, she studied his profile. This man she loved for over a decade and felt absolutely nothing. The grief would come later, she knew. But right now, in this moment, she felt only a cold clarity that burned away every soft edge she'd wrapped around herself to be the wife he wanted. She spent the early morning hours researching, kicking water under models now devoted her time to charity wars and social climbing. She had two sons, a historic home, a life carefully curated for envious admiration. Country's work spoke of integrity. Libraries, museums, community centers, buildings designed to serve rather than impress.
This is Broadway Junction.
Attention everyone, if you have questions or need to report an issue to the police, the NYPD is located at this station.
Transfer is available to the C, J, and L trains.
By the time dawn filtered through the bedroom windows, Melissa had made her decision. She wouldn't scream, wouldn't throw the photograph in Max's face, wouldn't give him the satisfaction of her immediate devastation. She would do something far more deliberate, far more devastating. She would introduce Kyle Jameson to his wife's lover. Max stirred beside her, reaching across the bed with the automatic gesture of long habit. Melissa let him pull her close, pressed her cheek against his chest, and felt his heartbeat against her skin.
Rough
like a countdown to an ending he didn't know was coming. Good morning, beautiful, he murmured, his voice rough with sleep. Good morning, she replied, her tone perfectly normal, perfectly warm, perfectly false. He kissed the top of her head before rolling away to check his phone, already absorbed in his other life, the one where she didn't exist, except as an obstacle to be managed. Melissa watched him scroll through messages, his expression flickering between constant
This is a Utica Avenue bound A express train. The next and last.
He was too distracted to hear. She spent the morning in her existing studio, a converted bedroom that had never quite felt right.
This is Broadway Junction.
Her art had suffered during her marriage, constrained by Max's subtle disapproval of anything that took her attention. Another hand moved across the canvas, with anger translating into explaining her vision of a filled space dedicated dedicated to painting. She included photographs of the property, mentioned timeline flexibility, and signed it. A woman who lost her own name in the transaction of
Well, I can't believe
This is a Euclid Avenue bound A Express
Your
train.
ground is telling where.
The
Go
next
to
stop
room.
is Broadway Junction.
professional, excited about the
I'm mad. I'm not on an hour.
his work. Melissa read the email 3 times.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
The canvas was taking shape, showing the shadow of a figure. Apologies she no longer believed. With kisses she no longer felt. They ate dinner in comfortable silence.
I'm mad. Seriously, it's so great.
When it's really just the quiet of 2 people living separate lives under the same roof. How was your day? He asked.
Well, how dare you get to say my teacher first through first third? That's it. You're grounded for 1 week. Go to your room now.
His eyes already distant, his mind already somewhere else, with someone else.
Why did you do this, son?
Tasting nothing, feeling everything, and planning the most elegant revenge a betrayed wife had ever orchestrated. She would give him exactly what he wanted. Permission to be himself. Exposure without mercy. Consequences delivered with surgical precision.
Rocket and
It was clarity, and Melissa Hall had never seen more clearly in her entire life. The photograph remained hidden in Max's study, but its image was burned into her memory like a brand. Let him keep his secrets for now. Let him think he was clever, careful, safe in his deceptions. Soon enough, he would learn that the most dangerous woman in the world is one who's been underestimated for too long, who's absorbed every slight until she's become dense with understanding, who's learned that silence isn't weakness, but strategy. Melissa finished her wine and excused herself to bed early, claiming fatigue. Max barely looked up from his laptop, already lost in whatever message thread had captured his attention. She climbed the stairs alone and stood in the window of their bedroom, looking out at the estate that had never truly felt like home. Next week, Kyle Jameson would walk through the door, and the careful architecture of 4 lives would collapse.
why what? You play music.
She was ready. Chapter 2. The Blueprint of Pain. Kyle Jameson arrived exactly on time, which told Melissa everything she needed to know about the kind of man who'd married Kiki Horton. His car was practical rather than ostentatious. His handshake firm, but not performative. His eyes the kind that actually saw what they were looking at, instead of cataloging value. Mrs. Holt, he greeted her, his smile genuine. Thank you for considering our firm. Your property is stunning. Please, call me Melissa, she said, leading him through the house toward the gardens, where she envisioned the conservatory. And thank you for coming personally. I know your time.
This is Euclid Avenue.
Transit about the receiver. This is the first station.
The question surprised her. Max had asked about her creative process.
This is the last stop on this train. Everyone, please leave the train. Thank you for riding with MTA.